24 hours a day, doctors, nurses, and technicians battle against the clock to save the lives of unknown victims of devastating accidents and violent crimes. What you're about to see is not a recreation. It's one story from the late-night shift at R. Adams Cowley's Shock Trauma Center in Baltimore.
Howard County 911, do you need the police, fire department, or an ambulance?
We need medical emergency and police. There's a terrible accident on Flowery Quarter and Carroll Mill. Howard County 911.
Yes, somebody's laying on the ground, looks quite injured.
Rescue alarm 3-1, station 3, engine 5-1 alerted for personal injury and accident.
A small car had gone out of control and crashed into a telephone pole.
Myself was the third police car on the scene. My first impression of looking at the car was it's hard to believe that anyone come out of that car alive. You could practically stick your head through the driver's door by the telephone pole and stick it out the passenger side. It was so close. The seats was practically on top of each other. It's probably going to be one of the worst that I've seen anyone live out of.
En route, the paramedics called the trauma center.
We're en route to Shock Trauma, priority 1, ETA, that's 20-25 minutes.
Dr. Brad Cushing is the trauma surgeon on call.
This is Dr. Cushing on trauma line.
They don't call you for the easy ones.
General, yes, this time we have Dr. Cushing on trauma line. Go ahead with the consult, sir. Yes, sir, this is Howard County Medic 35. We're on the scene with a 17-year-old white male. Patient was severely felt.
It's difficult. I'm not there at the scene. Can't see what it is that they're telling me. And I'm the one who has to make the decision.
No mask pants at this time. We'll take the patient here at Shock Trauma.
The victim is the 17-year-old driver. Though critically injured, Chad Ritchie had crawled out of the crushed car before the paramedics could reach him.
What month is it? July. July? Are you breathing okay? You're starting to start. Huh?
July?
Yeah, you.
A little fast.
Okay, slow it down. Do you have any pain in your chest? Squeeze my hand.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, let me have your arm here, buddy.
18 minutes went fast.
How you doing, sweetie? Okay? You're in the hospital now, hon. You're at the trauma center.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna be
Lots of
okay.
stuff's gonna be
Slow,
going
easy,
on
deep
right
breaths,
now.
baby.
Can
You're gonna be fine.
Can you tell me a little bit about what happened?
What's the stop sign?
Those darn stop signs, huh, hon?
Okay, so you had a couple drinks tonight?
Yes.
When did you eat dinner last?
We didn't eat.
You didn't eat, okay? Did you eat lunch?
Mm-hmm.
You getting enough air? Call her and let them know what you're
I'm
doing.
scared.
Okay. Buddy,
What, you want to stick them?
give me a phone number of somebody I should call for you.
596.
596.
416.
Is that your parents? What's your last name?
And hold your head.
Hold your head real still.
As I just stated, x-rays would determine the extent of his injuries right now, and he's being screened and evaluated.
Right now, you know, all is as well as expected. We're going to be continuing to do tests. We're getting some blood work right now, okay? And then we're going to do some x-rays, okay?
Keep that under your tongue, bud.
X-ray. Okay, taking a deep breath for me. Blow it out. Taking a deep breath and hold it.
Chad clearly was hit from the left side here. Has the fractures that you see here, here, down and through here, all on the posterior backside. So he's going to have a real good lung injury, and he's at real high risk of having splenic injury or anything like that. Anybody folks of Chad?
Yes.
Hi.
Richard and Elaine Ritchie had been asleep when they got the midnight call about their youngest son's accident.
Yeah, he's okay, but we've got some work to do, and I need to talk to you about some stuff. Okay. I'm Dr. Cushing. Hi, your mom? Yeah. Go ahead, have a seat. I'm going to go a little quick because I have to go right back up. We're taking him to the operating room. He has some broken ribs. He has some blood in the lung. That's all going to be all right. He does have some internal bleeding inside the abdomen, and that's why we're going to the operating room right now.
Oh, God, is he going to be okay?
Can't promise you anything at this point.
Oh, God, dear God. Please let him be okay.
Yeah.
Can I see him?
You won't. It's too late. He's already in the operating room. I apologize for rushing, but I got to get back up there with him. He's holding his own right now just fine. Okay? Your folks' job is to kind of hold tight for us, okay? Okay, we'll keep you posted on anything that changes. Yeah. Okay. You okay? Okay. I'll quit this job if it becomes pure routine and doesn't affect me. And then we're far from that.
In the operating room upstairs, Chad has been prepped for the surgery which will determine the extent of his internal injuries and try to stop the bleeding.
We do save more than 90% of the patients that we are involved with. The majority that you can go home feeling good about.
Chad's surgery will last until the early hours of the morning.
It's an isolated injury, but I think it's a pretty bad spleen. I think we ought to take it out.
I agree with that. That looks like that goes right down the hilum.
Yeah, there's no other major source of bleeding, but, you know, look carefully once we get this out of the way.
Diaphragm was okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would take that one out.
Okay. I think it's going to get to be too much. You got some 3-0 silk towels?
Chad had a massively injured spleen with cracks through it that went right down into the base of the spleen called the hilum. Safest thing to do at this point for Chad was to actually remove that spleen. I think Chad's doing really very well right now. So, I'd be glad to be able to go down and talk to his family a little bit more about that and make him feel better about the fact that at least long term he's probably going to be okay.
Okay, come on over. Come over here and talk to him.
Chad. Honey, it's Mom. Chad, can you hear me? Honey, you're here. God, don't say anything. Just get well. Can you hear me? Chad, I love you, darling, and I want to take care of you. Okay? You're going to be okay, honey. They're taking real good care of you. Okay? You hear me, darling? Just get well quick.
Our role in treating Chad is to treat not just his injuries, but also to try and treat the fact that he'll be out driving again someday, and it's our hopes that he won't drink and drive again.
You want to write something? It's my own Chad. Chad, I told you before, people make mistakes, okay? Honey, don't blame yourself. Just be thankful that you're alive. I am. I wouldn't put the blame now on someone else, because as soon as they see a beer with a teenager, I mean, who's going to get blamed? You know. I said, I hope you kids understand. I mean, here's a good friend got hurt. Is the one beer that important?
Stupid. Don't even drink and drive. Don't even... It's stupid. This bottom line, it's stupid.
This time, Chad Ritchie's broken bones will mend, and life will go on without a spleen.
I'm looking forward to just having things get back to normal again, having us fight over trivial things, seeing his friends come back and forth, hearing the phone ring, and not having to say Chad's in the hospital. That's what I'm looking forward to, things going back to normal, because normal, the way it was, looks pretty good now.
Next.